To better test the 4K video recording capabilities of the iPhone 6s Plus, I'm going to go ahead and unbox my less than pristine condition box of Kylo Ren from the Black Series 6-inch variety. Even though this is not my favorite scale, I figured I would let you know that I have a duplicate Kylo Ren. And I'm happy about that, because the other one's going to stay in the box on my budding Kylo Ren shelf. And now we're going to tear into the box, which looks like it's already been torn into. You can see the box art up front, red background, and on the back, a Dark Warrior. Strong with the Force, Kylo Ren commands First Order missions with a temper as fiery as his unconventional lightsaber. And more art. Ding! Sound effects are mine. Everything else is pretty much the iPhone, including the camera and microphone. You can see that he's got his lightsaber blade fully ignited, including the sides, which look to be attached by way of a pin there on the hilt, which should be fine. Let's go ahead and remove him from the plastic. If you can't tell, it appears that this Kylo Ren has soft goods, though getting them out of the package may be a bit more of a challenge. There we go. I don't want to damage the lightsaber at all. How can we do this? There we go. I'll just pop it up over it ever so slightly. It seems to already be attached to his hand, and oh, apparently Kylo Ren is attached by way of this little cord, which we're going to have to slice through here. Okay, give me a second. As long as I don't cut myself. I am good. So is Kylo Ren, who has now fallen out flat on his face. Let's go ahead and remove the box, which is not the star of the show. This guy is. It's kind of got a loose grip here, which is a little disappointing, but that's something that I've been accustomed to, specifically within the 6-inch variety. I'm not necessarily someone who likes soft goods, even though I realize it is a bit more realistic compared to characters, or specifically compared to figures that have vinyl cloaks. I don't know, I just have never been a fan of it, but it does have a very nice texture to it. If I rotate the figure as such, the cloak here is vinyl, the robe is soft goods, and of course he has multiple points of articulation. You saw me removing the hood there a second ago, showing his helmet, quite detailed there. And let's see how well he stands. Wow, okay, I didn't really have to do many adjustments there to get him to balance up front. Of course, the head can pivot around. It seems to be not quite on a ball. If it is, I cannot move his head up and down very easily. It's quite all right. As I said, he's got a very loose grip on his lightsaber hilt, which does appear to be very, very detailed. It's almost like the lightsaber blade itself is spinning. Not spinning, spitting, because it doesn't look perfect. It's got little bumps on it all the way through to the bottom, and you can see it's extremely loose. The elbows are seemingly on a ball joint. One joint, by the way, not double jointed. The knees, if they're much like the other knees in the newer Black Series line, are double jointed. So you could maneuver the knee as such. Should I say as such? Like such? Like so? Like so. I like that. Let's see if we can get him to stand again. No, he needs to be rebalanced. There we go. Sometimes I like testing that, just because getting a better balance on these larger figures sometimes can be a challenge, especially with the feet. So it seems that the ankles can also be pivoted around, so just in case Kylo Ren breaks his ankle, you can pretend that happens there. You can't really swing the feet out this way. You can only pivot them backwards, forwards, and to the sides, like so. So if you wanted to stand him like that, you could. I wouldn't, though, necessarily. Underneath the robe, we have a vinyl cloak right there up front. It seems that you can position his legs as such. Like such. Why do I keep saying as such? As such? As so? Well, this is how you can do it. And you can swing his legs around, although he does have a somewhat limited range of motion, if only because of the vinyl cloak underneath his soft goods cloak. We've got a belt, which does not seem to be very maneuverable at all. I can reposition the belt buckle to be towards the center, or at least towards the seam of his well-textured robe. It's pretty nice. I don't think that you'd be able to remove the soft goods at all without ruining the detail of the figure, unless, of course, you wanted to do just that, just like I used to do when I was trying to do customs as a kid with duplicate figures. Let's see if I can spin that blade to be a bit tighter. There we go. There may be a better position for the lightsaber that's less loose than it was. And we've got the arms, full range of motion, at least on that side. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, it's just got a lot of tightness in his right shoulder blade there. Not so much in his left, but I wouldn't say that it's incredibly loose. So you've got shoulder motion, you've got complete swivel, as well as a joint here on either elbow, assumedly, and the wrist can go 360. It's pretty detailed. I'm kind of glad I got a second one of him, if only because I really like the design. Very dark, very not Sithy. He is one of the Knights of Ren. So Ren is not his last name. And I'd say he stands very well. Very, even. Extremely well. All right. I like how he looks, except, yeah, did you see how he kind of lunged forward there? This is one of the reasons why I don't necessarily like high articulated figures, because sometimes the joints on these higher articulated figures, more articulated I should say, can be loose, and I just much rather have something that is tight and looks nice, which is why I'm not bothered by 5 POA. So, speaking of, I'm going to walk across the room and grab a 5 POA Kylo Ren, one that I unboxed a few weeks ago. This is also a duplicate, and you can see, as they're standing next to one another, how they look together at last. Even though it's a little weird, because Kylo Ren is not a clone that we know of. Let me go ahead and back you up just a bit. How does that look? I think it looks nice. But that's just me.